My name is Fifi Simon, and this is my artistic critique. This piece here is Karina Owens-Lopez defining volumetric form with line. The work of Karina is an abstract freestanding sculpture constructed entirely from black wire. Descriptively, the piece represents a bouquet of 5 flowers emerging from a central vase. The artist chose to photograph it against a stark backdrop of draped white fabric, a choice I think is vital to the viewer's first impression. It establishes a high contrast environment that allows every thin part of the dark metal to stand out clearly against the pale surroundings. The sculpture's anatomy is divided into 2 distinct sections. The base, or vase, is a cylindrical form composed of a dense, chaotic nest of tangled wire. It appears as a 3-dimensional scribble possessing a heavy structural messiness. Rising from this thicket are 4 distinct stems that transition into whimsical, looping flower shapes. Each flower head is defined by wide petals that culminate in a tight, precision-turned spiral. In analyzing the technical execution, Karina relied almost exclusively on element of line to suggest both volume and shape. Because wire is an inherently stiff material, these organic, curving forms suggest a labor-intensive process. The artist likely used pliers to apply the necessary physical force to bend the metal into tight spirals and fluid petals, creating that drawn effect in 3-dimensional space. The principles of design, specifically rhythm and repetition, are what is holding this piece together. By repeating the spiral motif in the center of every flower, Karina creates unified harmony. Furthermore, there is a brilliant use of balance and contrast. The dense, tangled texture of the base acts as a heavy anchor and grounding point, allowing the top of the sculpture to feel light and airy. The artist uses negative space as well, the empty air inside the wide petals, giving the flowers a sense of lift and delicacy, much like space suggests weightlessness in classical sculptures. My interpretation is that while this piece utilizes recognizable floral shapes, its abstraction invites deeper thought. There is an inherent tension in the medium. By using industrial wire to depict soft organisms, the work speaks to resilience and finding beauty in harsh realities. The contrast between vase and flowers is a metaphor for the human experience. The chaotic base represents the hectic nature of life and that very real part in our world, while the flowers represent growth and the triumph of the spirit. Evaluating the work, my perspective shifted during the critique. When I first looked at it, I viewed it as a simple project that was even very cute. However, after analyzing the technical choices, my appreciation has grown.